ladies and gentlemen, this is the end. The final commentary that I have to do for the 3 LPs I started back in January. It all comes to an end right here. This is the end game. I've got my black cherry Smirnoff Ice with me, which tastes fucking great, by the way. We've got Knuckles, we've got Tails, we've got a bastard of a scientist, and we've got 2 robots that we need to take down. Or, well, 3 actually, because of Wing Fortress Zone, but this is Knuckles and Sonic 2, Part 7. Let's fucking do this. Even though I've well since started. But yeah, this is a Sky Chase Zone, and it's like how I described it in the first Sonic 2 LP. You know, this is a real breather level. It doesn't really give me too much shit. Yeah, I get hit a couple times, but it generally doesn't do anything bad for me. I quite like it. It's nice. It has a good piece of music accompanying it. You can be a dipshit and spin dash off the edge of the tornado, like I did in the other LP. But fucking whatever. It's all good. It's all good. So we get a little preview here, which I always thought was interesting of the next level, Wing Fortress Zone, using all the same level design and whatnot. The enemies don't spawn, obviously, but I quite like things like that in video games that show you a little glimpse of what you're about to get into. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Now, I've only seen speedrunners get all of those motherfuckers in there, but I got like 4 of the 6, or is it 5, or whatever. Fuck it. It's a good place. This this zone in general is a pretty good place to stock up on points if that's something that interests you. Personally, I like seeing my score go up, even though it matters nothing at all. It doesn't matter. Fuck, I can't talk. My grasp on the English language is so poor. I've been alive for, well, I'll be 24 when this part comes out, but, you know, I've been alive for 23 years as of the recording. You would think, as English is my first language, that I would be fucking able to actually go ahead and do that, but what you saw just there was a neat little shortcut, which you can take just by jumping as Sonic, but as I demonstrated, you have to grip onto the wall and then climb up to do it as Knuckles, but it's still completely possible, so yeah, avoiding things in this level is quite great, because this level is long, and it can kind of kick your ass, to be completely honest. So that's something. Now, Knuckles, there's another skip that I'm going to be attempting in just a moment here, once I get past these things. And it seems to only be possible as Supersonic, because, like, I get the fucking rings here, right? And nope. I can't get the jump height. So I turn into Super Knuckles, trying to see if I can get the speed going back on with that little launcher there, and nothing. And like I can't climb up over that ledge either. So nope, gotta take the long way. That secret is, or it's not a secret. That skip is Supersonic only, because Tails cannot fly in this game. I don't know if that's something that I mentioned in the original LP, but if you play as Tails, Tails cannot fly. That's probably something I'll mention in the extra video whenever the fuck that comes out, if that ever comes out in our life. I meant to say lifetime. But you know, it's just some good shit going on here, as I always like to say. Knuckles and Sonic 2, Super Knuckles. I'm gonna have no trouble at all, even though, as you saw, I had to edit out a death, which, please don't make fun of me. I don't even remember what I died to. Oh, right, yeah, I went down a pit. That's what happened. That's what happened. That little platforming section with the timing. The timing perils. Now, I tried to latch onto the wall there because, like, in Sonic Classic Heroes, when you get to Scrap Brain Zone, and this works in the Knuckles and Sonic 1 hack as well, like the little laser wall there, you can just latch onto it, and I thought that maybe all laser walls in Sonic worked that way, but evidently they do not. So Knuckles cannot cheese this boss by just latching onto the wall and hitting it a whole bunch. But fortunately, I'm Super Knuckles, so the boss wasn't really that much of a big deal to beat anyway. Now, that here, I know about the extra life. I did collect it in my other Sonic 2 LP, but I just like slipped because I landed on the light that shoots the laser wall, right? And then if you run, you just go straight off. And I did mean to collect the extra life. It's just that I wasn't able to do it in a particularly good fashion and ultimately missed out on it. Don't make fun of me. Well, anyway. Now we're off to the motherfucking Death Egg Zone. Holy God. And this is gonna be an intense motherfucking thing with 2 bosses and no rings. Holy shit. Now here we have Silver Sonic, which, you know, easy enough. Except for when I'm fucking streaming or playing for anyone. That could be said about this whole zone, actually. Silver Sonic doesn't usually give me all too much trouble, but like the Death Egg Zone robot, for whatever fucking reason, anytime I'm playing for an audience, if it's just one person or a bunch of people, for whatever reason, I just cannot beat this guy in like the first try, and it always takes me like a bajillion tries. But as Knuckles, you're kind of forced to do it the safe way, because, you know, Knuckles, apparently his jump coding, like, how should I explain this? His jump is technically the same as Sonic's in Sonic 2, but what they did was they changed Knuckles' mid-air momentum, so that it matches his jump height in Sonic 3. Which is an interesting way of going about that, but yeah, so I cannot hit Robotnik in a conventional fashion. I have to do the waiting game and fucking just wait for him to dip down like that, and then this is gonna take a couple minutes, mind you, so I'm gonna get completely lost in my fucking commentary, but let's just see here. What can we talk about? This boss is a jackass. Whenever I'm playing for an audience, I don't know why, but I just can't beat this motherfucker first try or in a fairly timely fashion. It makes me sad. I really don't know what that phenomenon is, and it's really only Sonic 2 with the final boss that does that. Fucking weird, man. I absolutely do not get why this is even a thing, but yeah. Just, you know, if there's any tip that I have to give for playing this boss the safe way, it's just don't get nervous. As you can see, I started running off a little earlier than I really should have, and that can really fuck you up. Because if Robotnik gets too close to you, especially in this phase, you're fucking toast. You are fucking toast. Though I think there might actually be a safeguard if Robotnik does start like running off, like in this phase. Like maybe he'll stop like right at the wall. I've never tested that out personally. He only takes a couple steps, so you'd have to. I don't know exactly what you would have to do, but it just seems like trouble. It just seems like trouble. Just take it the way that I've been doing, even with the running off a little bit too early. That's not going to kill you at all, but you know, just handle it patiently, and then you can beat him and it'll be a good time, and Knuckles will save the day, and he can finally be happy with himself. He can finally go back to Sonic and say, hey, I did something good, Sonic. Fuck you. And then Sonic can just keep ignoring him, because Sonic is a douchebag, ladies and gentlemen. Sonic is almost as bad as Dr. Robotnik in that department. Sonic is just a complete and total glory hog, and he wants to take all the credit for himself. He wants to be the only hero in this entire franchise, and I am totally not joking at all. But yeah, see, Knuckles gets his day. Knuckles gets his spotlight. Knuckles knows. Knuckles is fucking fantastic. He's a great hero, and he deserves the credit for being in a Sonic 2 LP, which wasn't complete and total garbage, just a little bit, like, slightly above that level. And this little part in the credits doesn't change, obviously, because we saw Tails driving Knuckles in the tornado earlier before, so that doesn't really go ahead and change or anything like that. You know, he's still there looking on. They didn't colorize it. They didn't make it fit the whole screen for some reason, but yeah. And see, you know what else makes Knuckles better than douchebag Sonic? Look at this. This is the good ending, right? This is the good ending. Knuckles is falling. Even though he's super, he still lets Tails catch him. Sonic does not. Sonic just immediately flies off when Tails thinks, oh man, I'm about to save my buddy. Fucking Sonic. Big old douchebag. And Knuckles gets... Or, well, actually, Sonic does too. Gets the little bald eagles, but whatever. Fuck it, man. Knuckles, you deserve this victory, man. Show him what you got. Yeah. Fucking Knuckles. But yeah, so, that's it for Sonic 2. There is going to be an extras video at some point in my life. But, you know, it's a great game, that, unfortunately... the latter half kind of like takes a bit of a what should I say, a slump. Like, you know, it's just not quite as good as the first half of the game, with the exception of Sky Chase, because I think that zone, you know, it's a breather. It's something to make you relax after the intensity of Metropolis Zone, and it does a very good job of that. Wing Fortress is a bit too long. Death Egg can really get your nerves going, especially when you're me and you play for an when you play for an audience. Like, what the fuck, man? I can't beat the motherfucker, like, in my first try, or my first 3 tries or whatever. It always takes me like 10, and it's just so bad. Like, why do I have to be such a incompetent piece of shit at video games? But anyway, very fun game overall, and I think that the changes and whatever that they made to Knuckles is, like, the changes to the game, I should say, that they made for Knuckles was good stuff. They did a good job of hiding things for you to find as Knuckles, and like go and explore Capital Zone, Jesus, Chemical Plant Zone. Why the fuck did I want to call it Capital Zone? Chemical Plant Zone Act 1 is a very good example of that, probably the best one in the game, and it gives you incentive, because, like, unlike Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, Knuckles' jump height doesn't really make things that much more difficult, except for the final boss, but, like, if you want a different experience playing Sonic 2 and you haven't played as Knuckles yet, I would recommend it like I did for Tails and Sonic 1, and like I recommended for Sonic Chaos. You know, go and play the game for yourself and see what you think of it, because testimonials from other people can only really get you so far and whatnot. But yeah, so that's been it for me. I'm going to stop talking now. I've been Skull902. Thank you all for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day.